They show up out of nowhere and for a few nights change their entire life with a couple excellent games in the biggest of stage. Players many casuals might have never heard of until they step up in the playoffs, being glorified role players who might not have gotten a second contract. The playoff moments we'll never forget, most random runs from role players this century that made absolutely no sense, leaving us wondering where'd that come from, where have they been? Guys some of us haven't thought about in a minute. 2000 Austin Croshere of the Indiana Pacers, most famously known for outscoring Kobe in the 2000 finals. His career numbers: 6.6 points, under 4 rebounds, bounced around 5 different teams. After that incredible finals run, Indiana led by Reggie Miller and Jalen Rose, but in the finals against LA, the 6'9" power forward reached double figures every game, including a masterful Game 2, 24 points. It got to the point Croshere was getting fed the ball in crunch time over Reggie in multiple fourth quarters. Austin himself wasn't even considered a scorer, but a relentless do-it-all hard worker, high-energy defensive pest, cooked Robert Horry the whole series. After his excellence, got offered 7 years, $51 million. After Isaiah Thomas took over for head coach Larry Bird, Croshere moved to the 3 instead of the 4, destroyed every ounce of greatness he had, exposed by smaller, quicker players. If used properly, Croshere would have been an excellent stretch 4 in the modern era, only got heavy scrutiny rest of his career. Todd MacCulloch, only reason why everybody knows his name, being the starting center of the 02 finals at 280 plus pounds to contain prime Shaq. O'Neal himself single-handedly made every big man relevant, whether they started or come off the bench. Even third string 7-footers made the league. Due to everybody getting into foul trouble, there was no better time to make it to the NBA as an unskilled 7-foot big body than the late 90s and early 2000s. The Canadian's career lasted 4 seasons, 6-4 stats. From backing up the Kembe Mutombo 01 finals, New Jersey unnecessarily paid him 6 years, $34 million. After having a monster whooping Game 2, numbers of 13 and 5, MacCulloch scored 0 combined points the other 4 contests. Philly had no incentive to match him, got his big minutes. The following finals, a 10-8 Game 1 stat line, held the 3-time finals MVP to averaging 36 points for the series. Remember for getting posterized by Kobe several times. Big Todd unfortunately had a genetic disease causing foot pain, forced to retire after 2003. Troy Hudson of the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of the classic role players Laker fans will forever remember, torching their team, nicknamed Laker Killer, started for a Kevin Garnett-led squad. Minnesota needed every ounce of scoring to compete with the 3-time champs. Hudson himself caught fire, dropped a playoff career high, 37 points, 10 assists, just 16 shots in a Game 2 win. Continued his brilliance the following game, scored 27 Game 3, took a 2-1 series lead before falling 3 straight. Troy continued his magnificent performance with a 28-point Game 4, but couldn't go up 3-1. For the series, Hudson averaged 23.5 points, 44% from deep, did his part after anchoring a career best 14.2 points regular season average. He then got offered 6 years, $37 million, as one of the hottest free agents. The 27-year-old played just 5 more seasons, averaged under double figures since, got hurt after playing 29 games in 04. Little did everybody expect, Hudson played his final postseason game after getting eliminated by the Lakers in 6. Jerome James of the Seattle Supersonics looked like he was sipping waters like it was gin and tonic, leading to the travesty struggling Knicks to sign him 5 years, $30 million after the conclusion of 05. The former second rounder had to go overseas briefly after a disgustingly bad rookie season, never averaged more than 5.5 points in any seasons, a 5-3 starting center off the bench. The 300-pound Mr. Big Snacks ate more meals per day than averaged more points per game. Became a man-possessed first-round series, easily beating Sacramento. Jerome feasted against his former team, averaged a stunning over 17 and 9, 2.2 blocks, all-star caliber numbers. Remember head coach Rick Adelman cut him in training camp 2000? Recalled coach handing him a garbage bag to clean out his locker and suggest he start finding another career. A motivated Jerome celebrated the win by having a trash bag. The 29-year-old didn't play as well against San Antonio. GM Isaiah Thomas fell for the hype for somebody who never scored more than 25 points in a single game, lasted just 90 more contests in 5 possible seasons, a piss poor 2.5 points, more fouls per game than rebounds during his ugly Knicks tenure. Damon Jones, now remembered for different reasons, his only year being a full-time starter, 2005. Once in 11 seasons, the sharpshooter averaged double figures, just notable for his outside shooting, shot a career best 43% from deep, excelled playing his role next to second-year D Wade and a past his prime Shaq, averaged a blistering 16.5 points opening round series against AC to New Jersey, had a dirty piece game 1, continue his excellence, knocking off Washington's semis, 19-point Game 4 closeout. Jones had the time of his life until conference finals Detroit series, overwhelmed by the bigger Chauncey Billups. An absolute travesty 1-point no-show Game 7 performance, best remembered by Joey Crawford pushing him out of bounds. Final 17 seconds of the conference finals, down 3, Jones proceeded to miss one of the free throws, resulted to a Pistons win. Damon finally got a long-term deal following offseason, signed 4 years, $16 million with Cleveland, got too cocky, claiming he's one of the top 5 3-point shooters in the world, a massive gambler. There's a reason why he's dealing with his current situation today. Fell off, averaging 6.2 points for the remainder of his career, only hit one memorable shot after leaving Miami, helped 21-year-old Bron win his first playoff series against the Wizards. Andreas Nocioni, the Argentinian small forward, a solid player, averaged 10.5 points in 8 seasons, spent the early part of his pro career overseas, ended back overseas, becoming one of the most decorated players in EuroLeague history, an instant contributor to the mid-2000s Bulls, despite falling to the eventual champion Heat. Nones teared up Antoine Walker all series, netted between 18 to 30 points each of the 6 games, gave Miami a taste of danger, hit threes and dove for every loose ball, willing to get a hit, despite lacking some physical gifts, gave his Bulls a puncher's chance, averaged over 22 points, 9 assists, 56% shooting for the series, went 10 of 21 from deep, took it right to Wade and Shaq. His production the following playoffs regressed as his more talented teammates got better. His play diminished heavily when the 2010s arrived. Bonzi Wells of the Sacramento Kings, a solid player throughout his 10-year career, averaged 12 and 5, did his best work first round 2006 playoffs, all of a sudden put up 23 points, 12 rebounds on over 61% shooting against defending champion San Antonio. An all-time defensive juggernaut, with the series tied 2-2, Bonzi put up an unthinkable 38-point, 12 rebound performance. After that series, Wells turned down a 5-year contract extension from the Kings at 29 years old to sign a couple vet minimums, then out the league. Many had a negative perception of him being part of the Jailblazers. Wells was low-key a fan favorite, a beast in 2K. Daniel Gibson of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the 21-year-old's rookie, career didn't pan out like expected. The 42nd pick went absolutely bananas. The second biggest reason behind LeBron on why the Cavs actually got to the 07 finals. As great as James was in that Pistons series, especially Game 5, the franchise wouldn't have gotten past Detroit had it not been for Gibson's magnificent shooting. Added 21 big points Game 4, went 12 of 12 from the line, played 35 minutes off the bench, filling in for the disappointing Larry Hughes. For the all-time important closeout Game 6, had the game of his life, dropped 31 big points, 5 of 5 from deep. In a game Bron went just 3 of 11, 19 of Gibson's points came from the final period to blow the game wide open, sending the Pistons home. Due to Bron demoralizing Detroit all of Game 5, the Pistons players lost their mind, not allowing LeBron to beat them, opened the floor for the rookie to shine. Gibson averaged 14.5 points for the series, went 12 of 24 from deep, never averaged above 5.6 points again after the 08 semis. In future postseasons, Gibson left the NBA 2013, transitioned into a musician. Aaron Brooks, Mr. One Year Wonder, won Most Improved Player 2010, but his brief greatness of stardom started in the 2009 semis, absolutely destroying, abusing, and humiliating Derek Fisher. Had a brilliant first round series win over the Blazers. First 2 games, balled out 27 and 23 points. Nobody gave his Rockets much of a chance, especially without T-Mag. First game in LA, Brooks dropped 19, had one of the greatest Mother's Day performances, 34 big points on 12 of 20 shooting. Game 4 tied the series. Given the Rockets already lost Yao Ming for the remainder of the season, Brooks alongside Battier and Luis Scola had toughness and heart. No way in hell this series should have won 7 games against the eventual champs. Game 6, Brooks dropped 26 on 13 shots, was no match in Game 7 in Los Angeles, but established a name for himself at 24 years old. Looked borderline all-star caliber until the ankle injury he suffered against the Spurs changed his career for the worse. The worst of the worst, even more undersized Nate Robinson post-career, more humiliating than anything in his NBA career. Had some memorable regular seasons with the Knicks, but didn't sniff the playoffs till 2010 with Boston as a 10th man. Also had a short stint with OKC. The undersized journeyman dragged the Bulls on his shoulder with the insane fourth quarter and overtime. Classic 34 points, including 12 straight in the fourth, and sealing the dub in triple OT will forever go down one of the greatest non-Jordan Bulls moments. After having scored just 11 and 7 points the previous 2 games, team trailed 109-95 the closing minutes against a healthy Nets team who were favorites to win the series with Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, and Brook Lopez. After former Bull CJ Watson stole the ball, missed the jam, the improbable comeback happened. Robinson averaged 16.3 points first 2 rounds, even single-handedly took a game from prime LeBron's unstoppable Heat, netted 27 points, 9 assists in a massive Game 1 upset, exceeded everyone's expectations, even had a nasty block on James in transition, defying all odds. But as he aged, the super undersized Washington native lasted just 88 total games across 3 seasons after. Put up 8 points, 39% shooting. The league continued to prove itself, being unforgiving to short players. Matthew Dellavedova of the 2015 Cavs, the most hated or beloved role player in all of May and June, almost 11 years ago. Many haven't thought of him unless they watch old clips of the 2015 finals. Played extra heavy minutes. Later handsomely rewarded by the Bucks, did a ton of damage to the Bulls and Hawks series, scrapped as hard as any athlete, was essentially playing rugby out there. After Kyrie's devastating injury Game 1, it was all hands on deck, especially with no Kevin Love. After playing 9 minutes the first game on 0 shot attempts, the relentless undrafted star out of St. Mary earned the nickname labeled called the Curry Stopper. Steph missed all 8 of his shots while being guarded by Delly Game 2. When Curry off-ball, Delly stayed locked into him like a parasite, displaying his tenacity in the biggest stage. Nobody gave the Cavs a shot. Finished with 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, an insane hustle play in overtime. The most impactful non-double-digit scoring game you'll see from any guard play. MVP Steph held to a disgusting 5 of 23 shooting. Cleveland tied the series. Then Game 3, Delly had the best game of his life. Dropped an unthinkable 20-piece while guarding Curry again, played an accelerating 39 minutes before requiring an IV taken to the ambulance, became so dehydrated, had cramps, sent to the hospital. Regardless of the series outcome, Dellavedova earned everybody's respect. Many forget Delly was on the 2016 Cavs title team, barely played that postseason with a healthy Irving, didn't even make more than 2 baskets in any of the 7-game final series. Delly didn't even play in that final game, but earned his ring, signed with the Bucks after, then back with Cleveland post LeBron, and then Sacramento. If anybody can blame a player on why Steph didn't win 2015 Finals MVP, the narrative around Dellavedova being the Curry Stopper resulted in Andre Iguodala getting the award. Timofey Mozgov rose to the occasion, becoming the second highest scorer for Cleveland 2015 Finals. Barely had to do much in 2016, but the dysfunctional Lakers decided to give him full year 64. That's all she wrote. Before the 2015 postseason, Mozgov considered one of those meme players widely known for getting dunked on by Blake Griffin. Being traded before the deadline by the Nuggets, the bruising 7-1 Russian had an excellent Game 1, 16-7, and even better Game 2, 17-11 on just 8 shots. Became unstoppable Game 4, dropped a playoff high, 28, 10 boards in over 33 minutes, but his team got blown out, leading head coach David Blatt to match Golden State going small. Mozgov limited to 9 minutes the 5th game, posted 17 and 12 Game 6, although his numbers looked amazing. Game 4, Golden State's small lineup worked to perfection. The league was only going to shift to more perimeter oriented, just like Delhi. Mozgov didn't even play Game 7 2016 finals, only garbage time minutes. Lasted in the league till 2018, earned his title 2016, proceeded to never play in the postseason again. Had Mozgov not get traded to a contender like Cleveland, he probably would have never gotten another contract, would have been out the league much sooner. Allen Crabbe. Brooklyn screwed over Dame and CJ's Blazers of being true contenders after pressuring to match his insane 4-year $75 million deal, only after getting hot at the right time, being an unknown each of his first 2 seasons. Portland, convinced he was the true Wesley Matthews replacement, came alive the perfect time with the Clippers, having both Chris Paul and Blake Griffin out for the series, allowing the 23-year-old to ball out middle of the Clippers' first round series. And against Golden State, Crabbe put up 12.4 points, 59% shooting, made half his threes. The short sample size, good enough for his Blazers to overpay. Crabbe then proceeded to play like crap rest of his career. Out the league in 2020, age 27, Portland eventually traded him to Brooklyn. The team who wanted him all along didn't amount to much. Bismack Biyombo, the godfather of having the ultimate Linsanity playoff run, the type of player who could have easily been out the league before 2020, former 7th pick of the 2011 draft, labeled a bust, had no offensive skill sets. Charlotte had enough of him after 4 seasons. Toronto gave him a chance in a make-or-break year. If Biyombo didn't get his chances in the playoffs, could have easily went overseas after. His brilliant started 2nd round Miami series, had a 13-13 stat line Game 4, an unstoppable 17-16 Game 7. His team led by Larry and DeMar DeRozan, given no shot against Cleveland. Wouldn't have been surprising if the Raptors got swept until his insane 26 rebounds Game 3, grabbed every loose ball imaginable. Of course, any role player who dominated against a Braun-led team would get extra hype. After the 3rd game, Biyombo proceeded to grab 14 boards alongside 3 blocks, only had 5 points, despite being just average the final 2 games. Orlando already made up their minds, drew him a bag of 4-year $72, trying to pair up Biyombo and Serge Ibaka together. Bismack hasn't been impactful on the court since, but developed a great attitude throughout his years. That's why he remains deep on the bench with San Antonio for the vibes. Montrezl Harrell, super forgotten name from being one of the most popular role players. Now 32 years old, given no more chances at the league after tearing his knee, alongside burning bridges with multiple teams, has too much liability on the court. It's overseas or deciding when to hang it up at this point. Being a throw-in piece for the CP3 package, Trez excelled tremendously under Doc Rivers, having 6-man Lou Williams feed him the ball. His breakout moment happened against the 2-time defending champs, feasted down low in a series without any star teammates. Except for a rookie SGA, Trez feared nothing, finished strong in the paint every time, averaged 18.3 points on 73% shooting for the series, and 11 of 15 Game 1. His 2nd game, most memorable of his career, a nasty 25-10 stat line, perfect 9 of 9 from the field, leading to an insane 32-point come from behind victory, the largest in playoff history. Displayed the underdog mentality, refused to go down Game 5, had 24 points, pushed the series going 6. Harrell continued his excellent regular season, won 6-man 2020, but struggled mentally in the bubble, later exposed by Jokic, being an undersized 5 who can't shoot, defend, nor rebound. Elected to sign with the rival Lakers right after, drew a fit with multiple teammates. After things didn't work out, developed a bad rap. That's all she wrote. Gabe Vincent of the Miami Heat, now a laughing stock. LA should never take any South Beach guards. signing them to overpaid deals, sabotaging their team. Vincent, a backup to Kyle Lowry 2022, but in 23 exploded in the New York and Boston series up until Game 3 of the finals. The undrafted Santa Barbara standout averaged 14 points on 41% from 3. His best masterpiece, 29 points Game 3 Boston, 11 of 14 from the floor, drained 6 threes, the most random Celtic killer, walking into 26-footers super early, draining shot after shot, had Boston rethinking whether Brown and Tatum were ever good enough to win together. Now Gabe, best remembered as well of the worst all-time Lakers, averaged the putrid 1.4 points the 2024 playoffs up to 2.8 last season, might be out the league after 2026 before the age of 30. For most who don't know where Caleb Martin plays, forever remembered being a few votes away from winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Now one of the biggest one-hit travesties. Now 30 years old, will have a player option 2028, averaged a blistering 19.3 points, 60% from the field, while playing elite defense, dominated Boston, proceeded to put up under 7.5 points a game in the finals. The swagger and unconscious level of shot making was straight out of a movie for a team that almost got eliminated by the Bulls in the play-in. Miami making the finals with multiple role players going off, then never to be heard from again. Arguably the most improbable run to the championship series. Heat culture tends to use every ounce of greatness in each mysterious role player. Once they take their talents elsewhere, their basketball power seems to snap. 3 years since Martin's Linsanity run, he's been mostly banged up and a thing in the past. Honorable mentions: Ben Gordon, good player for most of his Bulls tenure, but 2009 first round, godly, half a series Myers Leonard 2019 against Golden State, Glenn Davis 2009 and 2012, and Jarrett Jack 2013 looked like Golden State's second best player.